Hey guys, it's Avery, and today I decided to do a day in the life of a kid in lockdown. I'm trying to think of like a good title to put that under. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But basically, I want to go over with you guys basically how every day goes for me. I've been in lockdown for almost 2 weeks now. In other places, they are just in lockdown, or in Ohio, it's only been a week. And I guess that I have a different perspective because the Bay Area, which is where I live, 6 counties in our area were put under shelter in place, which the media is calling lockdown, which is not the same thing, by the way. When I say lockdown, I mean shelter in place. The difference between a lockdown and a shelter in place, a lockdown is when you literally cannot leave the house under any circumstances. The shelter in place is then basically saying, we want you to stay inside, but you can still take walks and you can still go get groceries. A lockdown, when I think about it, is more like they are making you stay in your home, and they really, really do not want you to get out of the house. However, in the shelter in place, they're like, we don't want you to leave, but you can if you want. That's the difference. So when a lot of news media is saying, oh, the Bay Area is under a lockdown, no, that's false. We're not under a lockdown. It's a stay-at-home order. And it's not the same thing, because when you say lockdown, that scares people. When you say it's a shelter in place, however, that's not as scary. And yeah. So what's a day in the life for me? So school usually starts at 8 o'clock. Because the administration was telling teachers to try to have like activities during your regular class period, my first period teacher, we did have 2 class meetings at 8 a.m. So I did have to get up at 8 a.m. those times. But from now on, she's finally figured out that we do not need to have class at our normal time. So instead, I'm going to be able to not have to set an alarm any day. And I will have my first class at 10 a.m. every day now, which really isn't bad because you get to sleep in and then you have a late class. It's nice. Is there less work? Yes, there is overall. However, a good thing about always being at home and not having any activities, literally, I have kind of like 2 jobs. I have refereeing and tutoring. Both of those are completely canceled. Well, the tutoring was more of my mom wanted me not to, because to do that job I have to go out of the house into another person's house, and it makes sense because with this shelter in place order, it's probably not a smart idea because I don't need to do the job. She can do the homework, or like the kids can do their homework with their parent, so it's fine. The mom is really smart, the dad probably is too. I haven't really seen him working at the house though. But yeah, and their grandparents there, so it's nice for them. Okay, so 8 a.m. So at the beginning of this, I would get up at 7 o'clock still, to get ready for my 8 o'clock Zoom meeting. A lot of teachers are using Zoom. One of my teachers, I had to make up a quiz real quick, because I missed it because I was absent one day. And we did that on Google Meetings. I've never heard of that before, but it was like Google Hangouts almost, except between me and a teacher. I'm trying to think of any other interesting deets. Yeah, so 8 o'clock, I went to my first Zoom meeting of the day, and after that, it's just like the whole day you just do homework whenever. In my area, we are getting classroom assignments, and I just realized I went the wrong way. But we are getting classroom assignments, which basically means that they are not doing like the AP Classroom, etc. It's just Google Classroom. So most of my teachers are making homeworks either assigned at 3 p.m. that same day. A couple of my teachers, they have they assign like a couple of big projects per week for Friday at 8 a.m. A lot of my teachers, when there's homework, they assign it for 8 a.m. the following morning. And if it's like supposed to be a class for activity, like an activity you're supposed to do during school, they make it due at 3 p.m. The weirdest one I've had is it was due at 12 p.m., like noon. But other than that, the times have only been 9 p.m. just to make sure you don't do it like the next, like until 12 a.m. So the only times it's been due is 3 p.m., which is the end of school, midnight, 9 p.m., 8 a.m. the following morning, which is like for homework, so that makes sense, and noon, which is for extra credit, so that like kind of made sense, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So I just do Google Classroom assignments for the whole day, and it's really not that bad. Okay, other things you guys might want to know. How is the traffic? Because I see a lot of people online talking about that. There definitely is less traffic. Like if I were to go to LA right now, or if I was to head to San Francisco, there definitely would be a lot less traffic than there was before all of this stuff happened. School also, I didn't mention this yet, but school is now closed until May 1st for sure, which means that we probably will end up just not having school for the rest of the year. AP tests are now online, 45 minutes each test, and it's an FRQ, which means free response question, which means no multiple choice, just like 3 questions that we write our answers to. And that's for both my this for all my AP classes. A lot of places, the hours are definitely shut down. Like I'm looking ahead of me right now. Usually the hours are from 10 to 8 p.m. But now, this is for a Verizon shop, by the way. But now the hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or at Starbucks, they're usually open till like 7 or 8, even 9 some places. But now everybody closes at 5 p.m. Or at Pete's, where I'm going right now, they used to be open until 8 or 9. They were like a late open place. And now they're only open till 3. My favorite boba place, they had to shut down. They're shutting down for as long as the lockdown is. So if the lockdown is longer, I'm gonna have to go boba free for longer, which really sucks. Even Safeway or Target, basically any place you can think of that is not open 24/7, close down their hours. And if the place was open 24/7, they're probably not open 24/7 now. So a good rule of thumb is if you're going anywhere and you have a lockdown, call them to see what their new hours are, because chances are if you're trying to go there past 7 p.m., they're going to be closed, unless it's like Safeway or Target. Oh yeah, all restaurants are now to go. That includes all boba places or Starbucks. Like Starbucks now are only drive-through. Pete's, they don't have any drive-thrus yet that I know of. So they're only mobile ordering or to-go ordering. And at the pizza I'm going to right now, you can't even enter the store anymore. They have a table outside for you to order from and get your drinks from. Trying to think. That's like the main stuff that I think I'd want to know. Oh yeah, also if you are in a place where if you are in the place where they are announcing a shutdown, or a lockdown, not a shutdown, but if they're announcing a lockdown in your area, if you know you're not going to be one of the first people out there the day you hear it, then I would recommend waiting a day or two after the lockdown is in place, or maybe like the day of the lockdown is in place, or the day after, because the day before I went to get Whole Foods. I actually have a video about that. It's coronavirus is in my area, or I forget. I will have it up here. I think that's what people do, or here. I forget which side. But yeah, in that video I show clips of Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and I bought 5 items. They were like dairy items, milk, eggs, cream, tomatoes, and lemons, and they, like, the lines were so long. At my Whole Foods we have at least 5 lines, and it took me 1 hour, over 1 hour, to get through one line. And that's because I went the day before, right when they had announced the lockdown. So if in your area they are announcing the lockdown, I would recommend to wait a little bit before you actually go get groceries, because I went to that same Whole Foods the day that the lockdown was in place, and there was so much less people there, and they still had the same amount of stuff, if anything even more, because they had restocked. So I would definitely recommend to wait if you know you're not going to be like the first person out there, or if you just don't feel like wasting your time, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I gotta get a Starbucks drink, but I hope I will have this video up soon. And then this morning and last night I made marshmallows, so I will have that video up soon too. Okay, so stay safe. Don't wear a mask for now, because masks will just make you touch your face more. But yeah, stay safe. Make sure to wash your hands, sanitize stuff. Like, I make sure that whenever I go to a grocery store and they have wipes, I sanitize my steering wheel, and I sanitize my hands, and stuff like that. So just make sure you sanitize everything, and wash your hands, and stay 6 feet apart from people, because that will make a huge difference. So yeah, stay safe. Bye. I will see you soon. I forgot to mention this, but my day also consists of listening to podcasts. Like right now, I listen to The Daily, and they give almost daily updates about coronavirus. They're the first podcast I listened to when the coronavirus was first coming strong in Washington, Seattle. Well, Seattle, Washington, sorry. So yeah, they are the first podcast I listened to, and therefore I'm like, I trust them. And although some of their things, in one of the podcasts,
in a quarter mile, there's the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Hacienda Drive.
Although in one of their podcasts, they were talking with a senator or something from New York, and he was talking about how nobody's going to do shelter in places, even though that literally had already happened in California. So that episode, I didn't really trust as much.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Hacienda Drive.
But overall, I would definitely give a listen to The Daily podcast. That's what's called, The Daily. If you are worried about this and you want to figure out what's really going on. Okay, so, after recording that last segment, I was at the intersection between a road and hop yard, and the light was green, and I was going to turn left, and I stepped on the gas, and I looked to my left, and there was a truck. And he did not look like he was stopping. And so I pressed on the brake, and I swear to God, if I had pressed on the gas, I would have been T-boned. That would have been so bad. I'm so glad I was paying attention. Okay, just like, I know everything's really bad right now, but, like, be grateful here, okay? I almost got T-boned just now. I did not expect that to happen to me. Oh my god, that was crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, stay safe still. And tell your family that you love them, I guess. And hug them. And yeah.